In this video, I would like to talk a little bit about an editor called Nano. Nano is a simple to use editor for Linux, and normally most people might know about an editor called VI or Vim, but for some people VI or Vim is slightly difficult to start to use from the beginning. Nano is a much easier editor to work with, and I will show you briefly how it's working. Okay, first of all, if you have a file, let's do an ls. We have a file here called car list text. I can list the content by doing cut carlist.txt, and this is a list of cars and some details about the cars. Now I want to do some changes to this file. So in order to do changes with Nano, you type nano and then the name of the file. Let's try this. So it says no such file or directory. So we don't have Nano installed. So we need to install Nano. This is a Red Hat server, similar to CentOS. So you use yum install nano. And of course I can't do this because I'm not a super user, so I have to become a super user, then I can install it. So let's do this. Let's do a clear. First I do a sudo -i to get an interactive shell for the root user, and then you see now it indicates now that now I'm root. You can do a yum install nano, and will ask me if this is okay, this is the version and so on. Yes, of course, we just type yes, and there it is. So now we can exit. I'll become the regular user, and let's do it again. Let's do a clear nano and car list. Now I am in editing mode, and the first thing you can see on the top here and down, you see the content. Let me see. So if I select this is the content. It's not the entire content. You can use page down like you can do in any other editor. But what you see at the bottom here is the functions. First thing you need to learn is this one. So the first character is called caret, which represents the control key of your keyboard. The control key, right, or down left on your keyboard. The next one is an X. So now I am in a Nano editor edit mode, and I want to exit, so I press Control X. Now I'm out. In order to go back in, it's just the Nano and the name of the file. Now let's try to do a small change. So let's say that we saw that this year was wrong. It was not 2018, it was 2019. And by the way, all of this data are just fictures, they're not real. Okay, 2019. Now we need to save it, right? And the save it is write out. You see it here, write out. And the same caret O, which means Control O. Control O. Now it asks me which file do I want to write it to, and I want the same file, so I press enter. And now I'm finished. Control X. Now I can do a cut car list, and if we have a look now on the top here, you see it was this one I changed, right? It says now 2019. Let's open the file once more. Sorry. One last command that you should learn is control, not the last, some of the last ones. Control W, which is search. So if I want to search for, let's say, soul, you can see the green. This is the cursor, which ends up on the first word it will find. And if you have some lines here that you don't like, you can do a Control K, which means cut. It cuts line by line. So let's do a Control K. So you see, it takes line by line. If I did a mistake, I can do a Control U and the lines are back. The last that you need to know is Control G. It doesn't show here, but Control G. Then you get into the help text, and by just scrolling down with your mouse, you can see all the different functions you can use. And to be honest, the ones that I showed you so far is the functions I've been using for several years. I haven't really spent much time with the other functions. Okay, so after reading the help menu, Control X, you're back in edit mode. Maybe we are happy, we don't need to do anything more. We can do a Control X. Do you want to save? So now that I didn't do the Control O, I forgot to write it, but it realized there was a change, and it asked me, do you want? So when I do Control X to exit, okay, do you want to save? It's normal behavior. And then you type Y, and what file do you want to save to? Well, it's the car list text. Press enter, and here we are. Car list file changed some few seconds ago. Okay, thank you.